what we swear to defend with our lives is very likely nothing more than our personal prejudice, yet it causes us immense suffering. This morning, a same-sex couple came to me to discuss some matters. One of them, the one who plays the male role in the relationship, is actually bisexual. He can love both men and women. He is in great pain and asks me, "I want you to help me to see what bad deeds I committed in my past life. Why have I fallen into this situation?" He does not want to live this way, but he cannot control himself. To be honest, although he is male and plays the male role in a homosexual relationship, he is also cheating. He is simultaneously involved with two women. Of course, these two women are also homosexual women. In fact, he does not like living this way at all, but he cannot control himself. He feels deep suffering and wonders why his emotional life is so full of hardship. He wants an answer. I entered his past life to observe what kind of circumstances led to this situation. I saw that in a previous life, he was a judge, one of those so-called moral guardians, an old pedant who believed that the principles he upheld were absolute, self-evident truth. In that lifetime, there was a case involving men who loved men, and the case fell into his hands. He criticized the defendant mercilessly, believing such people to be demons and monsters, perverts. He even exiled them to the frontier and imprisoned them. When he saw lovers of the same sex suffering after being forcibly separated by his judgment, he felt no sympathy. Instead, he condemned them as demons who disrupted social morals and forcibly tore them apart. Because he was a self-proclaimed moral guardian, he believed this behavior was unacceptable. He condemned them with harsh words and employed every possible punishment. In that lifetime, this man was also someone who prided himself on purity and moral uprightness, aloof, self-righteous, and rigidly devoted to his moral ideals. As a result, in his life, there were many things he found intolerable. Yet the law of cause and effect in the universe is profoundly fascinating. In this lifetime, he is made to experience exactly what those people once suffered because of him. The pain of punishment, the pain of lovers being unable to unite. That is why his emotional path in this life is so difficult and painful. He cannot control himself. He does not like being this way. He does not want to be homosexual, but he has no choice. All criticism and all feelings of intolerance comes from fixed patterns of thinking within you, fixed doctrines and principles that you mistakenly believe to be absolute truth without ever realizing it. In other words, as I have said before, you lack the ability to question. You only have the ability to accept answers. Before you can even raise a question, you have already accepted the habits and answers given to you by your past lives and your present social experiences without the slightest doubt. This forms your values and what you call your sense of morality. Then, toward anything or anyone that goes against your values, you develop judgment and aversion. In this lifetime, this man cannot even tolerate himself. He cannot accept who he is at all. This is the punishment of karmic retribution. So what is the true truth of the universe? The natural law that applies everywhere across all times and cultures, independent of time and space. It rises from compassion. This is the principle of emptiness. Each era produces its own values. For example, in ancient patriarchal societies where men held power, men could have multiple wives and concubines, while women were forbidden from infidelity. A man having multiple wives was not considered sinful because it served to maintain his power and authority. The society created chastity monuments for women. In ancient times, a woman who was unfaithful could be executed. She would be punished. But should men not be held to the same standard? This is not the natural law. This is the creation of negative karma. These are the values of rulers born of their desire for power, which result in inequality. If we take such values as our own, we miss many truths and generate endless judgment and intolerance. What is this? Mistaking the false for the true. These are illusory principles, not truth. They are filled with thoughts and ideologies born of power and desire, completely unrelated to emptiness. Yet we fail to see this because we are ordinary people. We lack the ability to question or to ask. Why does a cruel mother-in-law become cruel? Because her own mother-in-law was cruel to her when she was a daughter-in-law. When she finally becomes the mother-in-law, she seeks revenge, but she cannot take revenge on her own mother-in-law because she is already dead. So she takes revenge on her daughter-in-law. This cycle continues generation after generation. Society hands us its values and we never question them. As a result, we mistake the false for the true. What is deeply illusory, we believe to be genuine truth. These so-called values may arise from ignorance, silently shaping and restricting the development of society. Natural law is that universal compassion and understanding that applies everywhere. The principles I speak of arise from emptiness. These are the ultimate truth. In other words, we must examine our own hearts to see how many things we have mistakenly taken to be truth. Only through such reflection can we know how to truly observe and care for ourselves. A child is born of you, but that is all. You simply gave birth to them. You do not own them. You do not control them. Yet because of the many values and answers we have accepted, we believe that because a child is born by us, they are our property, that they must obey us, respect us, and follow our principles. The child's reasoning is not considered valid, only ours is treated as law. When a child goes against our reasoning, we become furious. We label the child unfilial, and this creates the so-called generation gap. Our lives are filled with countless self-righteous beliefs, and it is these beliefs that cause our suffering. You believe children should behave toward you in a certain way. This is already a fixed concept and value system. So when a child speaks loudly to you or questions your reasoning and wants to discuss it with you, you immediately seize upon it and change your expression in an instant, like the dramatic face changing in Sichuan opera. Because you are the elder, you almost never allow space for discussion. The child is only allowed to accept the answers you give. They are not permitted to ask questions.